morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you another battle in my epic battle series. This is the Battle of Bouvines. So it took place in 1204 AD, and it was a dispute between mainly the French and the English, no surprise there, but it actually kind of dragged the Holy Roman Empire into it as well. So we'll take a look at the army comps, and then we'll kind of talk about the battle as the skirmish phase is going on. And there will be a couple of parts where I'll just need to kind of cut out some drier parts in the battle. But hopefully you enjoy this, and I've been super busy this week. That's why I've really had no content out. But I just wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for surpassing 250 subscribers. I actually think I'm at 261 last time I checked. That is just insane. My channel for regular content still isn't even a year old, and 250 subscribers is I just don't know what else to say. That you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that people enjoy my content, and I will definitely strive to continue to put out good quality content in future videos. So yeah, let's take a look at the army comps first. Whoop, I'm stuck in the trees over here. So yeah, it's two French armies, and then on the other side it's a Holy Roman Empire Holy Roman Empire and an English army. So taking a look at my army first, I've got 4 units of these Abelettiers. So good high period crossbow unit. All of the infantry is either high or early period, just to kind of be authentic in the time frame. And then I have 6 units of these Pavetiers, so a high spear unit. And then in behind I've got 8 units of foot home d'armes of the high period. Nice. And then I've got 6 units of free company footmen, so I've got some mercenary units in the battle as well. And then if we come over here, my general's bodyguard over here is actually historically correct as well. So the king's name is Philip II Auguste, or Augustus. He's the Royal de France, so the King of France, and he actually was present in this battle, so that's a really cool mechanic that we can bring him in. And then for his cav force, the king is fielding 6 units of home d'armes of the high period. And then he's got 4 units of Jean de Cheval. So heavy pole arms. I've got my heavy pole arms mixed in with my cav. And then going on to the second army, second French army, we've got some mounted Abelettiers. So he's bringing some crossbows. And you can see that he's also redeploying some infantry over to my flank as well. So he's got some communal infantry coming over. They're kind of equivalent to the heavy billmen that England can field. And then he's bringing some free company footmen as well. So they're such a solid and diverse unit that it would kind of be almost a little foolish not to bring them. And then he's got a ton of these foot home d'armes of the high period. So I think 8 of them as well. And then over in the trees, he's got 5 or 6 units of Pavetiers. And then he's got a good archer force, so he's bringing the Scots Guard. He's got 3 units of them. And the Abelettiers as well, so he's got some medium crossbows. And just on a side note, I was really shocked that these Scots Guard are tier 1. I thought they were tier 3 for sure. But yeah, apparently just a tier 1 unit. Interesting. And then what has he got going on over here? He's got a couple more units of communal infantry, and then he's got all his cav way back here. So I think he has a mix. So he's got some home d'armes of the high period, and he's got some bishop's retinue, so bring in kind of a second general. And then way back in the back, he's got some Jean de Cheval mounted knights. So they look pretty elite. And then I think his general is hidden in here. It's the Count's Household Guard. So he will be charged with protecting King Philip II with his life. So he has a very important role in this battle. Alright, so I believe that the skirmish phase is just beginning. You're only missing some of the armed peasants getting destroyed. I don't think it's that important that we see it. So we'll take a look at what's destroying the armed peasants, and it's this elite Hanseatic infantry. So they're kind of like a Pavese crossbow hybrid, I would say. Smaller shields, more diverse, they carry axes. So he's got 6 units of them. And then the Holy Roman Empire is bringing the cream of the crop for his troops, so he's got a ton of this dismounted ritter, very heavy infantry, but susceptible to archer fire. And then he's got 4 units, 2 on each flank of the Schnedt pikemen. There's 5 units of Free Company footmen, so Free Company footmen fighting for both sides in this battle today. And then some Assuldner of the High Period as well, kind of bringing up the rear. And then the Emperor would be Otto IV, but it just says Emperor's Hairchild, but we're going to pretend that this is Emperor Otto right here. I love that helmet. And look at this crown too. Oh, I was already zoomed in. Look at that crown. Just glistening. He's not worried about identification on the battlefield, that's for sure. And over here he's got his Imperial Ritter of the High Period, and he has a unit of Rute Equites as well, so a lighter kind of shock cav. And here's his other 2 pikes. So looking again at the English, or looking lastly at the English, he's bringing like 8 or 10 units of the Foot Knightly Retinue. And he's got 6 units of Yeoman Archers. How many? 5 units of Yeoman Archers. He also has some armed peasants. And he's fielding, I believe, 8 units of heavy billmen. So really, really heavy on the billmen. No. Heavy on the heavy billmen. And then this says English King, but we're going to pretend it's the Earl of Salisbury, because that was the Earl that was present in this battle. King John, the English King, was actually landing in the south of France with another army. So King Philip and his Franks are kind of divided on 2 fronts. So the Earl of Salisbury is commanding the English forces under Otto IV. So here's the English nobles. This is pretty historically accurate. There were quite a few English nobles present in the battle. So he's got like 10 or 11 units of them. And then here's more of the heavy billmen over on this flank as well. So I think that that's everything. We can go ahead and put this on play for now. And we're kind of just going to sit here and watch the battle unfold. If you see some breaking over there, it's only the armed peasants. It's really not that exciting. But yes, for those of you guys that don't know much about the Battle of Bouvines, it all started with Philip II Augustus. So basically what happened was King Richard the Lionhearted was slain in his crusade, and King John, who is a much weaker king, ascended to the throne. And Philip II kind of seized this opportunity to take back a lot of the English lands that were on the French mainland. So he pretty much doubled the area of his empire, and it was all due to the English losing their territory. So that kind of put a sour taste in John's mouth about the French, and he did actually attack them on one occasion but was repelled. And what led up to this battle was actually the Holy Roman Empire. Their emperor died of old age, and there were 2 kind of contenders for the throne, and one was Otto IV, and the second one was actually slain or assassinated while attending the wedding of his daughter. So that kind of left the door open for Otto IV to ascend to the throne, and he was actually related to King John of England, so they formed this alliance against the Franks. And Otto IV, in the summer of 1214, he did invade France, and Philip II grabbed his army, kind of mustered it together, and then moved forwards to meet them. And the reason it's called the Battle of Bouvines is because it happened on the plains just east of the city of Bouvines. Looks like the English nobles were trying to catch the crossbows unaware, but they were able to retreat behind my Jean de Cheval, and we're just pushing back up our crossbows again. And if you guys can see that the English troops are disappearing if they're farther away, I don't actually have a fix for that right now. I've kind of been looking online, and I don't really know what it is. I know that they did recently update the English roster, and I haven't downloaded the new update yet, so that is a possibility. So hopefully that doesn't take away from the cinematics of the battle. But the weird thing is that you can see that the Holy Roman Empire doesn't do that. It's only the English. So But yes, it looks like the English cannot wait any longer. The nobles are getting antsy, and so they have charged in. And I am sending some of my homed arms over here as well to meet the English nobles. So battle is started just like that. And you can see I'm moving forward some of my jeunes de cheval to reinforce my cav. And this is a really good combo. Kind of soak up the charge with your cav and then charge in some halberds to beat the enemy cav in prolonged melee. And I thought that that's what the English player was going to do as well. But look at this. He's committed so much of his cav in, and his billmen are just sitting here. He's kind of attacking almost in waves, which is never the best situation. I was completely outnumbered here. I only had 6 units of cav versus his 10. And only 4 units of halberds versus his 6. So he really, really needs to capitalize on his numbers, but unfortunately he is not doing that. He is charging a couple more units over onto the flanks, but my ally is moving forward some communal infantry to help out on that flank. So it's going pretty well for me over here. How are we looking over on this flank? There's a lot of dead, so the skirmish phase is pretty even on either side, I would say. I am moving forwards my crossbows once again. Looks like we got another charge coming into the dismounted Jean de Cheval. Ooh, that was a good charge. I don't think a lot of these men are going to get up. Wow, that was an extremely good charge. See, I was pretty much able to wreck my dismounted Jean de Cheval there. But luckily I had some cav to kind of come to their aid before they broke completely. And here we go. Finally, it looks like some of the billmen are moving forwards. But just look at this. His cav is already starting to break. Very expensive English nobles. And I've barely taken any damage. I've lost 1 homed arms unit over here and about 20 of my halberds. This is a very, very nice battle so far. Here comes the billmen to reinforce their English nobles. But the damage is pretty much done here. You can see one of the English nobles down to half strength, another one almost to half, and he did charge in another one, but there's just a lot of wavering going on over here. And then same story over here, zooming in. You can see we've got 2 more units of English nobles that are wavering. So they did get that initial charge off on my Jean de Cheval, but they just weren't able to capitalize on that, unfortunately. And too little, too late, here comes the billman. And I'm just charging my French units into the bills. Very nice. I thought I saw a head fly there for a second. So yeah, looking at other parts of the battle, they're trying to skirmish down my infantry and my spears, but that's really a waste of ammo because I've got them all in a protective shield wall. And looking over at the other French player, he also kind of has the same idea. He's so far forward because he's trying to keep these crossbows out of range of his Scotsguard, because the Scotsguard do have better range than the Hanseatic infantry. And he is moving over some cav as well, but he's going to have to be very careful. There's a lot of anti-cav units on that side of the battle. But not much is going on over there. If we take a look at how many have been lost so far, it looks like we've lost about 1,066. Yeah, it looks like we lost about 1,000 versus 800 for the enemy. So I would have thought that we would have been doing better because of this flank, but maybe the skirmish on the other side isn't going as well. You can go ahead and turn this on and maybe zoom on in. Watch the chaos of battle. These bills are holding on, though. They are a tough nut to crack, that is for sure. And how we looking? Yeah, so we broke in 4 or 5 units of cav. They've got a couple units of cav still engaged in melee, but yeah, I've just freed up a ton of my units over on this flank. And over on this flank, we've pretty much completely won here as well. We're engaging the billmen on this side. Let's go ahead and get some slow motion here, so we can kind of calm down and enjoy these epic clashes. I know that you guys really enjoy this, so... I really do like the billmen. When I was growing up, I kind of thought that they, you know, they didn't look as professional, and a lot of their bills kind of looked stupid in my opinion, but now that I'm older, I just realized what a gruesome and deadly unit these bills must have been. If we just kind of follow up the battle line, you can just see half of the fight just in the fray, and then if you look further down into the other sides of the battle, there's just not much going on. They're just kind of waiting to see what's going on this flank. But we are definitely winning over here. The billmen are starting to break over on this flank. They have broken my cav, but there's a unit of communal infantry here that will hopefully stop them from attacking. And then over on this flank, I've actually run one of my units of cav into all of their archers. I did manage to break 2 units, and this one's extremely depleted. And they're pushing all their billmen forwards to try to stop my deadly homed arms from just running right down the line of archers and slaying them all. And it's good for me because he's bringing forwards these billmen. So what I'm going to do is bring forwards my crossbows and just try to fire at the billmen as they take on my unit of cav. And on this side, have we engaged yet? Oh, we have actually, yes. So it looks like the other French player is going after some of the Imperial Ritter. And this is kind of an easy cav battle to tell because one is light blue and one is yellow. So we can kind of see who is what. Very cool. So yeah, the cav battle is very much underway on this flank. It looks like some communal infantry have made it around the flanks, and they've actually broken some dismounted Ritter over here, so they must have got a good charge off on them. And then we've got the pikes over here. Looks like the communal infantry are kind of engaging just on the flank here, putting pressure on the Schnedt. But the rest of the battle really hasn't started at this point, which is crazy because it's been about 10 minutes so far, or 15 minutes into the battle. But I'm just cleaning up this flank over here. I want to make sure that all of the English nobles are slain on the battlefield. And there we go. You can see these 2 units of cav breaking. And I'm following up with some of my Jean de Cheval. That looks awesome. Yeah, so don't let those English cav return. Oh man, what is this here? Oh, that is a good charge there. Was that from one of the English nobles? Yeah, it was. Wow, excellent charge into my homed arms unit. A lot of them are getting up, but that's going to definitely shake their morale a little bit. And it actually does break them. Wow, so very, very good eye on the battlefield. But unfortunately, they're going to die. I'm going to lock them in with my homed arms and then charge in with my dismounted Jean de Cheval. So that is pretty much it over here. Looks like we got some spears moving forwards. Yeah, some more armored peasants trying to move into the battle. And it looks like over here the French player is getting awfully close.
Our men return to the fight.
Oh, I just love that sound while the shield's like slamming up. So there you go. You can see the spear wall has been formed.
There is much to be said for the old way.
What do we got going on over here, though? It looks like we got some assault and they're sneaking in behind. Going right around the spears towards the Scots Guard.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the
But it looks like a couple units of homed arms are going to stop the assault there from moving forwards. So it's kind of cat and mouse. There's a little bit of an engagement, and then not so much, and then a little bit more of an engagement. I have fully committed my swords into the battle at this point. I'm sending in my free company footmen and my foot homed arms. So yeah, my free company footmen are kind of soaked up the initial charge as they're cheaper, and then I'm sending in my elite homed arms to kind of push forwards against this foot knightly retinue. I'm going to go ahead and turn this to slow motion here, just so we can take a look at what's going on a little bit further. Yeah, a lot of this foot knightly retinue just trying to hold back the wave of Frenchmen. They've got their human archers in behind, looking for targets. But just look at this long battle line here. And actually, some of my units haven't even engaged yet. The English taunting the French forces as they move in. There you go, you can see them charging in. I can't imagine the shock aspect of the, like, just the wave of bodies slamming into the shields like that. There they go, charging forwards. Excellent, excellent battle line formed. And it looks like the billmen have moved over onto the flanks, but the communal infantry, along with my swords, are just collapsing this right wing. You can see the Earl of Salisbury trying to keep order, keep his men from breaking. But yeah, just look at this. The poor foot knightly retinue, they just can't withstand the might of the Franks. A lot of them are just getting pretty heavily depleted. And over here as well. But over on this flank, the pikes are actually doing quite well, and some of the human archers are actually pushing forwards into the pavesier. But the rest of the infantry haven't really moved in at all. Like I said, there's just some pockets of fighting. And then it looks like this unit of foot homed arms is taking on 2 units of dismounted Ritter and the Schnedt. So they're probably going to get slaughtered. We've got some Ritter in behind the enemy lines here. Oh, right onto his helmet.
The unit is running from the enemy.
Yeah, so I don't really expect that unit to last very long. Although they have done quite a bit of damage to these dismounted Ritter, that's for sure. And good call there, the other French players blocking this point from the Ritter flanking around. But over here, yeah, you can see that kind of the floodgates basically have been opened. My foot homed arms are just charging into these archers. They're not going to last very long in prolonged melee, that's for sure. Brave human archers. Look at them just fighting with these little tiny daggers. A couple of them are still trying to fire, but I think it's a lost cause at this point. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this back to play. So yeah, we've completely wiped out this flank over here. Here comes my Jean de Cheval charging into the billman. kind of formed this little V. And I think that the Earl of Salisbury is still alive. Yes, he is. So he's still fighting on. A lot of the Foot Knightly retinue are trying to return to the battle, but they are breaking to my Free Company footmen. And the battle is turning into our favor as of right now. We've still got 5,400 men versus 3,700, but it's still pretty close. Still pretty close at this point. Yes, and it looks like the battle has finally begun over here. So we've got the spears against the dismounted Ritter. So it's a very high attacking unit versus a very high defending unit. Pretty sure that in prolonged melee, the Holy Roman Empire will win against the Franks. But the French do still have some ammo left with their Scots Guard. And it looks like the Bishop's retinue, along with a couple units of my cav, is cleaning up this flank as well. You can see that Francis, I was going to say the French king, Philip II is moving into the trees. He may look for an opportunity to go after Otto IV, who is currently engaged in battle as well. Looks like he routed a unit of French cavalry. But it looks like we got some crossbows in behind the English lines, and the English are pretty much just buckling at this point. It's really down to maybe a few hundred men holding the lines. Most of them have been outflanked at this point. Oh, it's not a good day to be an Englishman, that's for sure. Yeah, the last of the Foot Knightly retinue are wavering. So all in all, I still have a decently healthy army left, but the Holy Roman Empire is still very much in this battle. And my homed arms of the High Period are having a tougher time taking on the Schnett pikes over here. But it looks like with the help of some of the swords, we are actually getting them to waver. You can see that they are a little bit outflanked at this point, and that does affect the morale of pikes quite critically. They're trying to pull out their swords to take on the foot-homed arms. The only problem is that they don't really have shields because they carry their pikes, so when you do get them into prolonged melee, they have a bit of melee defense, but not enough that they're going to stand up against a solid shielded infantry like this. And how are we doing on other parts of the battle? This is a massive battle, so I'm trying to capture everything that's going on. Nice play, getting some units in behind this pike unit. They're facing the wrong way. So that's going to heavily affect the morale of this Schnett unit. Are they being attacked on the other side? Kind of. Looks like they slaughtered a lot of the spears here, though. And what is this now? Oh, yes, we've got the mounted arbaletier trying to aid their fellow brothers as well. But yes, the spears are kind of getting cut down, and just look at this flank over here. Just being completely overrun. There's not much in the way that could kind of stop this flood of cav. And it looks like they're going right for the general. Yeah, the general is the only unit still left here, and he's actually in melee against some of the dismounted Ritter.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
But I've got my cav over on this flank, so I'm just trying to keep the Holy Roman Empire player busy. I'm trying to pull back some of these really expensive units of Ritter. You can see that I'm distracting them from the front lines. But at the same time, the Holy Roman Empire has enough infantry to deal with the Pavicier over here. You can just hear the slams of the swords and the halberds against the shields. Ugh. The spears are being pushed back to back now. Looks like they're being outflanked. Oh, yes, and here comes the Holy Roman Empire Cav going after the Count's Household Guard. So they're really, really trying to catch them. I am trying to block them with a unit of my swords, and then I push forwards with a unit of my spears as well. So the general escapes just barely with his life. So we were luckily able to stop him there. But yes, you can see that pretty much most of the infantry has been wiped out for the French. And here comes Otto IV. Or actually, no, this is... that's the Earl of Salisbury moving in. Got some Free Company footmen pushing in. Oh, this battle was just all over the place. Just cav charging every which way. And the infantry grind for large armies, it didn't really last that long, considering. Oh, another cycle charge into the backs of the French. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. And then he's finishing it off with some of his Assaultner. Yeah, just like that, the French have broken over on this flank here. So yeah, if we zoom out and take a look at the battle, so the English have pretty much been eliminated from the battlefield, but the Holy Roman Empire is still very much alive. And at this point, we're kind of just redeploying our forces. We actually don't attack right away. The Holy Roman Empire does pull back up onto the hill. And I'm just kind of trying to consolidate my forces. The other French player is trying to consolidate his forces in behind. Taking a look at the man count, we've just got 3,300 men left against 2,100 of the Holy Roman Empire forces. So it is not over yet, that's for sure, guys. So we're going to take a little quick cut here, and we're going to wait till everybody is all formed up and ready for the second wave of the battle. Alright guys, we are back here after a quick cut. So we formed up our armies, and the Holy Roman Empire has sent all of his cav over into the trees. But then he realizes that one of the French generals is kind of out in the open, and I guess it kind of attracted all of his cav out of the trees to try to go after this Count's Household Guard. So you can see that he's got all of his cav over here. Some of them are still quite healthy as well, but he really wants this general dead. So he's put all of his cavalry on this flank. If we just take a quick look around, you can see the Holy Roman Empire forces have formed up, and then my mighty army formed up as well on this side. So this is where the battle kind of takes off again. So it looks like the Count's Household Guard is interested in charging into melee here. Nice charge. He's going to try and single-handedly withhold all of this Holy Roman Cav, but that is not going to work, and they're going to continue moving forwards. They're actually going after my crossbows, but I've got my Cav and my general to defend as well. And it looks like we got some communal infantry coming in from the other French player. So really, really good battle awareness there. Yeah, here we go. Here comes my cav charging in. Nice. Accidentally charging into some of the communal infantry as well. And then I've got my crossbows coming in as well, so firing in to the backs of a lot of this cav. And there goes the Count's household guard. So he has been slain on the battlefield at this point. But he is trying to get his cav out of here, but I'm continuously pushing forwards with my infantry. Or, sorry, with my cav to lock him down. And he did go for a suicide charge into my crossbows. And then got a pretty decent charge into my home arms as well. They are just going crazy right now. But now that I've got them in melee, I've kind of locked them in with my pavetier, and we're just going to slowly cut them down. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of all the Holy Roman Empire cav. So I was thinking about that after the battle. I don't know how I feel about that charge. I understand how he was trying to go for the general, but if you take a look at the blue cards, there's really not that many men that he would have been able to capitalize on a morale debuff, I guess is what you would say. But he lost like 5 units of cav just for basically taking the enemy general out. So I'm not really too sure about that. But our forces have moved in a little bit closer, and you can see that the Earl of Salisbury is over here as well. He really wants to go after some of my jeunes de cheval. He just saw them cut down so much of the English nobility in the past, couple hours that the battle is waging on. So he really wants to get revenge against these guys. I think if they survived the battle, Philip II was going to call them the English Slayers. Probably not. But yeah, yes, there it is. I thought I heard the horn sounding the men forwards. Just inching our way forwards here. There's not really a super big rush to get into battle, and we can kind of just enjoy some of the cinematics. But yeah, here comes the Earl of Salisbury. He got a decent charge into this depleted unit of jeunes de cheval. So yeah, he's going to effectively wreck this unit. But he better hurry, because if you look along the horizon, here comes my general with his home d'armes. He sees the Frenchmen in danger. And there goes the English Earl. He's going to pull back. Knocking down my men. And yeah, coming down to the last 7 minutes of the battle, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this epic battle series. It was a little bit slower than most of my epic battles, but I really, really enjoyed this one just because it was so authentic and historical in every aspect of the word. Just with the amount that of the men that were on the field was pretty close to accurate. And the fact that Philip II, Augustus, is still alive. But it looks like the Holy Roman Empire doesn't want to sit back and just wait. So I've got my spears, I've kind of spread them out a little bit further. And he's just ordered his men to kind of walk into battle. I'm sure they're exhausted at this point from the prolonged fight. So they're just going to move kind of into melee with the spears. And here we go. This is the final engagement. How are we doing on this flank too? Most of the other French players' forces over on this flank. So he has taken on some of the Schnedt. He's managed to break some of the Hanseatic infantry. But more of the Free Company footmen and Ossoldner are coming in to relieve their comrades. And it looks like we got some of the dismounted Ritter are wavering. Nice. So, yeah, he did effectively stop that Osaldner from flanking around, so that's good there. And now we looking over here. It looks like a couple of these units are surrounded here. So the Osaldner fighting back-to-back between some of my free company footmen. And here comes a nice charge in the backs of the pikes. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's going to break them for sure. And just in case, I've got another spear unit moving forwards. What a battle. Yeah, so we pretty much wrapped up that flank over there. And we're pushing in over here. It looks like the English Earl is just stuck in melee with one of my spear units. So that's a favorable option for me. He can engage my spears all day long. Yes, die. There he goes. He has fallen fallen onto the battlefield. But the English didn't really have any troops left at this point, so it's basically just the Holy Roman Empire, and his dismounted Ritter are exhausted from fighting. I don't think they're going to be able to hold out much longer. Whoops, sorry guys. Zipping around the camera a little too fast there. But I've got my cav kind of moving over. I've got this one spear unit moving over, so we're really collapsing again in on the right flank. It looks like some of my arbaletiers are holding up Otto IV. But yes, this concerned me. So you can see that a lot of my men begin to waver here. And that is not a good sign. So Philip II, he realizes that his men need a morale boost. They can't continue to fight against these heavy German infantry. So here he goes into battle. They try to turn around, but it's too late. Oh, yes. Just slaughtering all of this German infantry. Very big hit. You can see I'm following in on this flank over here with my home d'armes as well. So yes, just saving his men there. Looks like over on this flank that the other French army was destroyed, but at this point it's pretty safe to say that the French are going to win this battle. So Philip II will push Otto IV out of the Frankish kingdom, and King John, who is attacking from the south, he was also repelled. Some of my crossbows being broken here, but yeah, mass chain route over on this flank. So only a few more units of heavy Ritter fighting on here. Here comes Philip II again, crashing into the backs of these heavy infantry. And just look at the forces moving forwards and behind. And I think that effectively ends the Battle of Bouvines. So again, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of these epic battles. And feel free to comment if you have a battle in mind that you would like me to try to cover. I'd be more than happy to take a look at that for you. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.